If you've watched any programs or read articles on tiny houses, you know that world has its own unique issues. Often you see problems finding furniture, concerns about power, and questions about storage. In reality, those are only a few of the aspects that can make transitioning to tiny a challenge. Here's the good news though. Unlike the multitude of media floating around, we're not here just to point out the problems. We're here to bring you the solutions. Welcome to the good, the bad, and the tiny. A practical guide to tiny living. Part 1. Where do you want to build your tiny home? Home ownership is a dream of many. Because of that, there are several standard procedures associated with buying a typical home. But there is nothing typical about a tiny house. As a result, you must consider a number of things as you scale down your living environment. Here, we are demystifying what needs to be done by giving you a checklist to simplify the process. The first step is not just about buying land. It's about your life there, your needs, and the laws in your area. Here's a list to make sure you don't miss any points. How much land do you need? This can be influenced by how little yard work you want to do, if you have pets, or if you want to invite friends over for cookouts. Do you want to be off on your own or live in a community? Choosing between these options may be more of a personal decision, but will affect how close you are to amenities like grocery stores. Will you need to expand your home in the future? Newlyweds who may start a family are an example of buyers who could want to add on to their tiny house. Similarly, a home business owner might need a dedicated workspace as they get more customers. In both cases, the buyers may choose more land to leave them options. Do you want to use your property as a rental? Services such as Airbnb have created an explosion in the discussion of home renting. You could consider using your property as a part-time home or as a full-time rental. Each case means it can be a source of revenue. Do you want to live off the grid? Solar power, water collection, wood stoves, and a variety of other options make it possible to live without depending on local utilities. You have the option to plan for those and reduce your monthly bills. What kind of internet connection do you need? For many today, the internet is not an option. Your work, for example, may require you have readily available web access, so you have to factor it in as a necessity. Do you have any health issues? Allergies may limit your options for location, and long-term ailments may mean that you need to be close to medical providers. In either case, you will have to plan accordingly. What types of roads are you willing to live with? Whether they are the result of bad civic programs or rural roadways that can deteriorate after a heavy rain, rough roads can be a problem. You need to decide if the existing or potential conditions around the land you are considering will work for you. It's easy to see that the points above can affect one another, so it will be important to answer all of the questions above and weigh what's most important to you. After refining your requirements, you will need to find out about local laws, community rules, and other limitations. For example, what is the minimum home size the area allows? Even with the tiny house boom, there are many places that won't allow structures the size that fits into the tiny home category. Are you connecting to public water or sewer? Either of these utilities will require that your land is within a certain proximity of a local connection. Do you have to install a septic tank or a well? You will need to know this before you buy any property. The area will have to allow those options, and you will need to get a PERT test. The test will tell you if you can put a septic tank on the property, what size you may need, and where you can build your house. The last point can be critical since your well and septic tank have to be separated by a significant distance. Are other homes near you? Any buildings that are close in proximity will create additional setbacks for your septic tank and well that you need to consider. In any case, you need to know that getting a mortgage for your tiny home requires it to be on a foundation. While the houses on wheels are well publicized, most areas will not issue a building permit for those, and no bank will finance them. The process of going through all of the factors, researching the rules, and selecting your property can be overwhelming, but this checklist pulls everything together so you can get started on the important tasks. At Eagle Ridge Buildings, we can simplify your search even more. We are already working with professional real estate brokers who can help you identify and purchase the most suitable property. For example, Georgia just passed a new tiny home addendum that lets counties allow a 400 square foot home or larger on a foundation. While it's good that exists in general, each county must adopt that guideline before it would go in effect locally. Our team can help you check the status in the area where you decide to build. Even if you are not building in Georgia, we can assist you in making the right decisions. One important point is contacting the local building inspector. As the person who can stop you from proceeding on any construction project, it is important to get them on board early in the game. With that resource secured, you can easily find out the minimum size you will need to build in your selected area and see if there are any covenants in effect for the land that might require you to construct a certain size home. Also, you can jointly find out if you are getting unrestricted land, which will free up your options greatly. No matter where in the country you are, those are important details we can help you uncover. Owning a home of any size can be a great reward, one that requires careful planning. This guide is specifically aimed at building a tiny home to fit your lifestyle. We at Eagle Ridge hope this simplifies the steps for you. Be sure to see our other videos to help you avoid big problems as you choose a tiny house.